That's right, it's Scott Hall Sunday noon, and we are back in the garage. Back home again in the garage. There's a storm across the valley, clouds are rolling in. The afternoon is heavy on your shoulder. There's a truck out on the 4-lane, a mile or more away. The whining of his wheels just makes it colder. He's an hour away from riding on your prayers up in the sky. And 10 days on the road are barely gone. There's a fire softly burning, supper's on the stove. It's the light in your eye that makes him warm. And hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long lost friend. Yes, and it's good to be back home again. Now there's all the news to tell him how you spend your time, and what's the latest thing the neighbors say. And your mother called last Friday, the sunshine made her cry. You felt the baby move just yesterday. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long lost friend. Yes, and it's good to be back home again. Oh, that I can lay this tired old body down, feel your fingers feather soft upon me, the kisses that I live for, the love that lights my way, the happiness that living with you brings me. It's the sweetest thing I know of, and just spending time with you. It's the little things that make a house a home, like a fire softly burning, supper on the stove. It's the light in your eye that makes me warm. And hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long lost friend. Yes, and it's good to be back home again. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long lost friend. Yes, and it's good to be back home again. to be back home again. Hey, it's Back Home Again by John Denver. I don't mean home. Of course, we've all been home, but back home again in the garage. My at-home soundstage originator, send-out placer of the weekly broadcast, Scott Hall, Sunday noon, every Sunday here at noon. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube at Scott Hall TV. Look for the wooden wheel. You can find me on Northampton Channel 12. So it's good to be back. If you've been with me the last few weeks, I've just been in front of the paneling inside. Yes, I did wear the shirt, big shirt I told you about I was going to wear when we returned to the garage. I'm not there yet. You know I don't want you looking at wires. And you know I want things centered better. And my light here, I'm going to give myself a C- on the lighting here so far this weekend. So we look for improvements, but this is where we'll be. This is the new location, 90 degrees away from where we used to be. I'm going to do a couple songs here that you've heard me do recently as I adjust some Scott Hall songs and see how they're going. Then we're going to go back to a Ray Mason song that I've played a few times lately, and we're going to have a premiere of Bill Morrissey song and an announcement about next week's very special show. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. The front declaration was how it began. While shortcoming men, boys careless and brash, slink back to their ballrooms with obsolete cash. The old guard is gone, return to their trade. The stores come to life, rebuilding from raids. The grown-ups gone up, out back to get sand. And the old way of life is back with the wind. Men are leaving, it seems they've been fooled. Were you booze beaten, or were you outdueled? Counting on courtesans, they long did deride. Now women wait worried, while men decide. Return to their trade. The stores come to life, rebuilding from raids. The grown-ups gone up, are back to get sand. And the old way of life is back with the wind. for your rest. The callers aren't calling, they've let out their chest. Your young boys are home from fighting themselves. The numbers are growing, the bullets been shelved. The old guard is gone, return to their trades. The stores come to life, rebuilding from raids. The grown-ups gone up back to get sent, and the old way of life, the old way of life is back with the wind. Okay, so we started off with Back Home again. Now we're back with the wind. That's a Scott Hall original that you have heard me play several times on this show, Scott Hall, Sunday noon, in the key of E flat. And now I'm trying it in C. I think it sounds good for the voice, and I can sing the chorus up higher so it sounds more like a chorus. The piano doesn't sound as good as the old key yet, though. And with the tag, the whole point is got that flat 9 right there. Ralph Finaro would cuffed me right by the. That's his favorite one right there, the flat 9. So, hey, it needs some work, and I'm going to work on it and bring it back here to Scott Hall Sunday noon. Now let's try I'm a Machine also in a new key, and then we'll get back to some more familiar stuff. I got to put it on the line, man. You know what happened with Eddie and the Cruisers? He didn't want to put it on the line. Well, I am going to put it on the line. What's our key here, dude? You need time. You need time to figure yes and no. Register the blip 1-0. I'm in your world. years. You sold off your cars, flirted with bots, registered stars, and nixed all the nightlights for firefly jars. Distrust and thirst, you're out of the bars, and now you flipped your lid, gone off grid, running serpentine. You're ICD-10 oblivion. I'm a machine. I'm a machine. I'm a machine. I'm a machine. Something like that. Something like that. Boy, that half step up may make all the difference about what I can and can't sing, huh? Margins. Incredible margins. Folks, tune in next week for a very special show as we begin a new series which I have alluded to called Scott Hall Origin Stories. What do you mean, Scott? Well, songs I play come from certain places where I got to know that stuff or that style of music or that songwriter or something like that. What I'm about to play is going to be from a future episode, actually, regarding folk music. That's right, you have to tune in for the folk music week too. But next week, as our inaugural episode, it will be late 70s adult contemporary radio, as absorbed by me from 106.7 WMJX. That's Magic 106.7. We're going to have Paul Anka. We're going to have some James Taylor. We're going to have some Dolly Parton. That's right, Dolly Parton next week. Here she comes again. And a couple, three others right there from that specific late 70s era, maybe early 80s, adult contemporary. So that'd be an exciting, very special show next week. I sat at each end of the couch, watched as the fire burned down so quiet on this winter's night. Not a house light on for miles around. Then he said, I think I'll fill the stove, it's getting time for bed. She looked up, I think I'll have some wine. How about you? And he declined. Warren, she said, maybe just for tonight, let's still the stove with birches and watch as the fire burns bright. How long has it been? I know it's quiet a while. Pour yourself half a glass, stay with me a little while. And Warren, he shook his head as if she'd made some kind of joke. Birches on a winter night, no, we'll fill the stove with oak. Oak will burn as long and hot as a July afternoon, and birch will burn itself out by the rising of the moon. And you hate a cold house, same as me. Am I right or not? Alright, 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 that's true, she said. It was just a thought. But Warren, she said, you do look tired, maybe you should go up to bed. I'll look after the fire tonight. Oak, he told her. Oak, she said. She listened in to his footsteps as he climbed up the stairs, and she pulled a sweater on her, set her wine glass on a chair. She walked down cellar to the wood box, it was cold as an ice chest, and climbed back up with 4 logs, each as white as a wedding dress. And she filled the stove, and she poured the wine, and then she sat down on the floor. She curled her legs beneath her as the fire sprang to life once more, and she filled the room with a hungry light, and it cracked as it drew air, and the shadows danced a jittery waltz like no one else was there. And she stood up in the heat, and she twirled around the room, and the shadows, they saw nothing but a young girl on her honeymoon. And she knew the time, it would be short, and the fire would start to fade. She thought of heat, she thought of time, she called it an even trade. Here's one from Bill Morrissey, the late, wonderful Bill Morrissey. And that's his most famous song right there, Birches. That'll be part of the Scott Hall Origin Story series on Folk Week. Man, it's true. You just don't see it like I don't see you. I took a chance for falling not lightly into you. I spent my life walking on eggshells when we all know what the years will tell. And I'll never get my rest for being so into you. There's no bargain when a broken heart's near. Over and over, year after year, night by night and tear for tear. It's heartbreak that sells around here. It's always heartbreak that sells around here. Now this town's paper reads one page, and the people take to it as the latest rage, like hula hoops. I need a passing fad to get through you, and the time it takes to count to 10, the word will be out here, around here, and then they'll never let me rest for being so into you. There's no bargain when a broken heart's near. Over and over, year after year, night by night and tear for tear. It's heartbreak that sells around here. It's always heartbreak that sells around here. Friends become reporters and put you in a cage. Tell me, how can my life make the front page? They say don't worry, but the next day it's out. There's gotta be something better to talk about. I was a gambling man, it's true. You didn't see it like I didn't see you. I took a chance for falling not lightly into you. There's no bargain when a broken hearts near, over and over, year after year, night by night and tear for tear. It's heartbreak that sells around here, over and over, year after year. There's no bargain when a broken heart's near, night by night and tear for tear. It's heartbreak that sells around here. It's heartbreak that sells around here. It's always heartbreak that sells around here. Ray Mason, and it's heartbreak that sells. So next week, you won't see the wires. It'll be an even better presentation here, lighting issues up to a B, maybe even a B+. And the first issue of Scott Hall Origin Stories, late 70s, 106.7 WMJX, Adult Contemporary. Thanks for coming. Put a candle in the window, 'cause I feel I gotta move. Though I'm gone, I'll be coming home soon, as long as I can see the light. And pack my bags and let's get going, 'cause I'm bound to drift a while. Well, I'm gone, gone, gone. You don't have to worry long as I can see the light. Guess I got that old traveling Jones, 'cause this feeling won't leave me alone. But I won't be losing my way, no, 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 as long as I can see the light. Put a candle in the window, 'cause I feel I got to move. Then I'm gone, gone. I'll be coming home, long as I can see the light. As long as I can see the light. As long as I can see the light. As long as I can't see the light. Fogarty, Scott Hall, Sunday noon. Next week we'll have the button back working again. Here's a little glimpse. Here's a little glimpse into things that can befall you when I move just from the other room. Here's my big thing to the other camera. broadcasting. See, this it's a very fine line. We'll be working on the margins all week, and see you next weekend, Scott Hall, Sunday noon, as it all creeps back into place. God bless.